The sun glowed bright above the city of Neo Haven, its tall towers shining like crystals. Inside the towering Nova Trust Bank, things were busy. People in suits moved fast. Screens flashed with numbers. Robots served drinks. Everything looked perfect. The large glass doors opened with a soft hiss. A woman stepped inside. Her name was Zara. She was tall, calm, and confident. She wore a white coat, black boots, and a silver ring on her finger. Her glowing blue access card blinked softly in her hand. The guards glanced at her, confused. The receptionist at the front desk, a young woman named Lisa, gave a fake smile, but then leaned toward the security officer. "She's not on the VIP list," Lisa whispered. "Maybe she stole that card." The guard nodded. He tapped something on his tablet. Zara walked up to the counter and smiled politely. "Good morning," she said. "I'm here for a scheduled vault review. You'll find my ID linked to this access pass." She handed over the glowing card. Lisa didn't even check it. Instead, she looked Zara up and down. "A vault review," she said with a smirk. There must be a mistake." Zara remained calm. "Please scan the card. Everything will be clear." Lisa laughed loudly. "Oh, honey, that's not how this works. You can't just walk in here dressed like that and claim you're some kind of executive." Just then, the glass doors opened again. A loud voice filled the air. "Out of my way. I'm late." Everyone turned. A man with slicked back hair, gold rings, and a shining red suit walked in. He wore dark shades, and 2 bodyguards followed him. It was Mr. Rexon, a well-known investor and self-proclaimed VIP of the future. Lisa's smile turned wide. "Mr. Rexon." "Right this way, sir," she said, running to him. She waved at the guards. "Take her out," she ordered, pointing at Zara. "What?" Zara asked softly. Lisa crossed her arms. "VIPs come first. You can wait outside. Or you can leave." Zara stared at her for a moment, her face calm, her eyes focused. Then she spoke clearly. "Are you sure you want to do this?" The guard stepped forward. "Ma'am, please leave the building." Rexon chuckled as he walked past. "I like that," he said, "putting these people in their place." Zara didn't react. The guards led her out through the side doors. Staff and customers watched, but no one said anything. Some even smiled. A few took pictures. Outside, Zara stood still for a second. Then she lifted her hand and tapped her silver ring. A soft tone beeped. Her bracelet glowed. Inside the bank, no one noticed. But deep below the building, in the data center, something changed. The server lights blinked red. Firewalls shut down. The main banking system began to freeze. All silently. Zara walked calmly toward a black hovercar waiting nearby. Its door opened automatically. As she entered, the system inside welcomed her. "Welcome back, Director Zara." She didn't smile. She just looked back once at the glass doors of the bank. The same doors that had shut her out. Inside the Nova Trust Bank, the staff were laughing, joking, and moving around as if everything was fine. Mr. Rexon had been given a fresh cup of imported Sint tea. He sat in the VIP lounge, bragging to anyone who would listen. "I made 20 million last week, just from one crypto-planet deal," he said loudly. "These banks should be honored to have me." The manager, Mr. Cullen, came in, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Mr. Rexon, sir. Welcome. Anything you need, just say the word." Lisa stood nearby, proud of herself. "I took care of that crazy woman at the front. Try to act like she was some executive," she said with a laugh. "Good work," Colin said. "Can't let random people ruin our VIP experience." But then, something odd happened. The lights in the VIP lounge flickered. The digital screens showing stock numbers blinked, then turned black. The bank's main vaults, which were connected to their AI servers, locked down. The front desk tablet froze. Lisa tapped it again and again. Why isn't it working? A quiet alarm beeped once in the manager's earpiece. "Warning. Master server unresponsive. Emergency protocol suggested." Colin's face turned pale. No, this can't be happening. The system was shutting down, bit by bit. Rexon stood up. What kind of dump is this? I can't even transfer my funds. He tried using his smart ring to move credits to his personal account. Nothing worked. Across the bank, panic started to build. Vault doors were frozen. Digital accounts couldn't be accessed. The staff rushed from one terminal to another. A junior tech assistant shouted, "All connections to the executive server have gone dark." Colin grabbed his head. "That's impossible. Only the system director can do that." And he froze. Because in that moment, a new message appeared on the large central screen above the front desk. Emergency override active. Security lockout enabled. Overlinear intervention in progress. The screen showed a digital signature glowing in soft blue. Zara. Lisa gasped. Wait, that woman's name was Zara. Everyone in the bank turned to her. Mr. Rexon growled, "What's going on here?" Colin didn't answer. He ran to his office and pulled up the hidden file that very few knew existed. Zara Blackwell. Owner, investor, architect of Nova Trust Bank's entire digital foundation. And now, she had locked them out. Colin's hands shook. We made a mistake, a big one. Outside the building, Zara sat calmly inside her hover car, watching the chaos from a floating holo display. A tiny AI voice spoke to her. Protocol lockdown successful. Shall we proceed to next phase? Zara nodded. Yes. Time to visit my bank properly. She looked at the time. Exactly 5 minutes had passed since they pushed her out. And now, they were about to lose everything. The giant glass doors of Nova Trust Bank opened with a soft hiss. All heads turned. Zara walked in again. Calm, silent, and powerful. This time, she didn't carry a card. She didn't need one. Her silver ring glowed faintly as she stepped forward. The cameras inside the bank turned toward her. Lights above adjusted automatically, giving her a spotlight. No one said a word. Lisa, the receptionist who had laughed at her earlier, took a step back. Her face turned pale. Mr. Rexon was still shouting in the VIP area. Where is your manager? I'm going to sue this bank. Mr. Colin rushed out of his office and stopped when he saw Zara. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Zara stood still and looked around the bank slowly. Her eyes landed on the staff who had pushed her earlier, then on the security guards who had followed orders without thinking. She walked up to the front desk. "Do you remember me?" she asked Lisa. Lisa nodded slowly. "Yes, you were here earlier. I didn't know." Zara raised a hand, stopping her. "You assumed I didn't belong," she said softly. "You didn't even scan my access card." Lisa stammered. "I thought you were." "Less than what you expected," Zara finished her sentence. "That says more about you than me." Mr. Collins stepped forward nervously. "Miss Zara, Miss Blackwell, we're so sorry. We didn't know." "You didn't ask," she said firmly. "You judged me because of my skin, my clothes, and because I walked in alone." The entire staff stood frozen. Zara looked up at the large digital screen, still showing overlinear intervention in progress. She pressed her ring. The words changed. System access restored. All permissions granted to Zara Blackwell, a winner. Rexon saw the screen and went silent. He looked from the screen to Zara, eyes wide. "You," he whispered. "You're the owner of this place?" Zara finally turned to him. "Yes. And this place doesn't serve people who insult my staff or treat others like trash." He opened his mouth to argue, but she cut him off. "You're blocked. Permanently. Your assets here are frozen. You'll get them back after we report your harassment." The bank security, now under her direct control, surrounded Rexon and gently let him out. He didn't argue. The man who had shouted so loudly minutes ago now walked out with his head low. Zara turned to the staff again. "This is not just a bank. It's a place built for people to grow. That includes all races, all styles, and all voices. If any of you believe otherwise." She looked around, her voice sharp. "You're welcome to leave now." No one moved. Zara gave a small nod. Good. Back in the control room, Zara reconnected the master server. One by one, the vaults opened. Customers received access again. All systems lit up. Peace returned to the bank, but everything had changed. From that day forward, no one at Nova Trust judged a customer by their skin, dress, or background, because they all remembered the day they kicked out the CEO and almost lost everything. Zara walked slowly through the main floor of the Nova Trust Bank. Everyone watched her in silence. The same people who had laughed at her earlier now avoided eye contact. Some whispered nervously. Others stood completely still. Zara's face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. She stopped in front of the glass conference room. Mr. Collin, the senior manager, stood inside, pale, sweating, and clearly shaking. He had been the one who made the final call to remove Zara. He had seen her face. He had still chosen the VIP client. Now she was back, and he was terrified. Zara stepped inside. The glass doors slid shut behind her. Sit, she said. Mr. Collin dropped into the chair immediately. Zara didn't sit. She stood across from him, powerful and calm. You had all the tools to make the right choice, she said. My digital access card, my IT. But you ignored them. It was a mistake, Collin said quickly. I didn't mean any harm. You never do, she interrupted coldly. That's the problem. People like you hide behind fake apologies, thinking it makes things better. She leaned closer. You judged me because I looked different from the clients you serve. You thought I didn't belong. But I built this system, line by line. This bank exists because I created it. Collin wiped his forehead. I didn't know. That's not an excuse, Zara said. You didn't want to know. There was silence. Then Zara pressed a button on her ring. A hologram appeared, showing video footage from earlier. It showed Lisa and Collin laughing as Zara was escorted out. It showed them pushing her card away. It showed Mr. Rexon saying racist things, and the staff doing nothing. Collin lowered his head. I'll resign, he whispered. I don't deserve this position. Zara raised an eyebrow. You don't. But I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to teach you something. Collin looked up, confused. I'm giving you one chance, Zara said. But this warning will be your last. You will attend mandatory training on equality and system integrity. You will treat everyone with respect, or you're out. Collin nodded quickly. Yes, I will. Thank you. Zara stared at him for a long moment, then turned away. Outside, staff had gathered nervously. When Zara stepped out, everyone stiffened. She raised her voice. This bank is not just a place for the rich, it's a system for the future. And in the future, we do not judge people by skin, style, or silence. She pointed to the vault doors. From now on, no customer gets denied without system checks. No staff laughs while others are insulted. No one walks out feeling less than human. Am I clear? Yes, Ms. Blackwell, the staff said in unison. Zara walked back to the main desk. Lisa stood frozen behind it. Zara looked at her and said, You're on probation. Prove you can learn, or leave. Lisa nodded quickly. I will, I promise. Zara pressed her ring one last time. Her access returned fully. The bank's executive floor lit up in her name. Customers who had watched the drama unfold whispered with admiration. She owns the place, one man said. She handled that with class, said another. Even the security team looked at her with new respect. As Zara stepped into the elevator, someone called out. Why didn't you tell us who you were earlier? She turned, her voice steady. Because I shouldn't have to. Then the doors closed, and the lesson remained. Zara stood quietly in the executive elevator, watching the numbers rise. Her reflection looked calm, but her mind was moving fast. The board needed to hear the truth, not just about her identity, but about the culture they allowed to grow inside their bank. She arrived at the 60th floor. The doors opened with a soft chime. The executive boardroom was massive. A sleek glass table sat in the center. Around it were the top decision-makers of Nova Trust Bank. They all turned to her, surprised. Zara, one older board member asked, adjusting his glasses. We didn't know you were coming. Zara walked in with slow, steady steps. No one expected me, she said. That's the problem. She placed her silver ring on the table. It glowed, syncing with the boardroom system. In seconds, a holographic recording appeared in the air, showing the events from earlier that morning. From Zara being pushed aside, to Colin insulting her, to security escorting her out. The room went completely silent. Several board members leaned forward, shocked. A few looked embarrassed. One woman covered her mouth in disbelief. I walked in holding an executive vault card, Zara said. It was ignored. She pointed to the board members one by one. Everything I warned you about is happening. You asked for results. I gave you systems. But systems only work when the people behind them believe in fairness. The CEO of the board, a man named Mr. Garrison, cleared his throat. This is unacceptable. We'll fire the staff involved immediately. No. Zara interrupted, voice calm but firm. Firing won't fix the culture. I want something bigger. The board leaned in, listening. I want a protocol called CODEC, Zara said. Every branch, every staff member, if a person with verified digital access is denied service, without reason, the system will shut down and alert HQ. One board member blinked. You want the whole bank to freeze because of one bad decision? No, Zara replied. I want the bank to pause and think. Another member said, but that's a lot of power. Zara looked directly at him. Exactly. And power should be used to protect, not just profit. There was silence. Then Mr. Garrison slowly nodded. She's right, he said. We brag about technology, but we forgot the people. Let's start fixing that today. After the meeting, Zara stepped outside onto the sky terrace. The city stretched out below her, bright lights, flying cars, towering buildings. Her assistant, a young man named Jalen, walked up. You did it, he said. The board finally listened. Zara nodded. They had no choice. But now the real work begins. Jalen smiled. Words spreading fast. Social media's blowing up. Customers are praising you. Zara smirked slightly. Let them. Not because I need attention, but because it teaches people one truth. What's that? Jalen asked. That kindness doesn't come from fear, Zara said. It comes from respect. She looked out across the city. And the next time someone like me walks into any branch, no one will ask if she belongs. Scene shift. Downstairs at the lobby, Lisa was still behind the front desk. She looked nervous, but was trying hard, greeting each customer, scanning IDs properly, and keeping a respectful tone. Mr. Colin walked past, no longer wearing his fancy suit. He had been moved to training and had to earn his job back. As he walked by, a new client, a young black woman, entered with confidence. Colin didn't flinch. He stepped forward and greeted her with a respectful nod. Welcome to Nova Trust, he said. How can I assist you today? The woman smiled and handed over her ID. Lisa watched and smiled too. Things were changing, slowly, but surely. The next morning, Nova Trust Bank was trending on every news channel and social media platform. Hashtag Zara the CEO. Hashtag she owns the bank. Hashtag respect before profit. Screens across the city flashed with clips of Zara being mistreated at the bank and then walking into the boardroom like a storm. Reporters stood outside Nova Trust's headquarters, trying to catch a glimpse of the woman who had changed everything in just one day. Inside her office, Zara sat at her desk, calm as always. Her silver ring glowed gently on her finger. Her assistant Jalen entered with a tablet full of updates. You've been invited to 12 interviews, he said. People want to hear your side. The world's calling you the quiet CEO who exposed loud injustice. Zara shook her head lightly. This was never about fame. Jalen smiled. Still, you did something powerful. Scene shift. Across the country. At a small Nova Trust branch in another city, a black teenager named Keisha walked in with her mother. It was their first time opening a savings account. The staff at the counter smiled warmly. One woman said, Welcome. You're our VIP today. Keisha's mother looked surprised. Really? Yes, the woman replied. We've made some changes. Every customer matters. No exceptions. Keisha smiled. She had seen Zara's video online the night before. It made her feel like she belonged. Scene shift. Nova Trust boardroom. The board members gathered again, but this time, things felt different. A large display showed a live feed of every branch using Protocol CODEZ. The system had already prevented 3 incidents of discrimination in just 24 hours. Zara's plan is working, said Mr. Garrison. For the first time, people trust Nova Trust again. Another board member added, she didn't just save us from a PR disaster, she changed our culture. A third leaned forward. Do we offer her full leadership now? Garrison shook his head. She already has it. She just didn't need a crown to prove it. Scene shift. Zara's office. Later that day. Zara looked through a glass wall into the sky above. Jalen returned with something in his hands. A sleek, new ID badge. This just arrived from the new HR department, he said. You now have your title officially updated. Zara took the card. It read, Zara Elson, Chief Executive Officer, Nova Trust Intergalactic. She looked at Jalen and said softly, now, it's official. Final scene. Nova Trust lobby. Colin now worked as a basic customer guide. His name tag was smaller, his pride even smaller. But he greeted each guest kindly. Lisa still worked at the front desk, but now, she smiled more, treated people better, and even wore a bracelet that reminded her, every person is more than they appear. One day, Zara walked into the same lobby again. No guards, no fanfare. Just her. Lisa stood up fast. Ms. Elson. Ma'am. We didn't know you were coming. Zara smiled softly. That's okay. I didn't come to test anyone today. Lisa nodded nervously. How can I help you? Zara stepped closer and replied, you already are, by being better. Then she walked past, her presence calm, powerful, and unforgettable.